It's terrifying, really, how fast life can fall apart. One moment everything feels solid, familiar, like the rhythm of a song you've known forever, and then suddenly it all dissolves. No warning, no grand disaster, just a quiet collapse. And now here I am, 32 years old, sitting in my childhood bedroom like some broken echo of the girl I used to be. The same pale walls, the same posters peeling at the edges, remnants of teenage dreams and pop culture crushes that once felt like forever. The desk is still cluttered with dusty trophies, dried-out pens, and pieces of a life that never expected to circle back like this. I let out a sharp, humorless laugh. It's almost poetic in a cruel way. This wasn't the life I planned, not it. The ending I imagined. My name is Olivia, and I never thought I'd be here flipping through yearbooks and memories, trying to trace the exact moment everything began to unravel. It started with Daniel. We met at a housewarming party, my best friend Rachel hosted. She had just moved into this stunning townhouse, clean lines. The soft lighting, the scent of cinnamon candles hanging in the air like a hug. It was the kind of home you see in magazines or pinned to vision boards when you're trying to manifest something better. The second I stepped inside, I felt this quiet ache of envy. It wasn't about the home itself. It was her life. She had a career that lit her up, a fiancé doted on her, future that looked effortless. And there was alone, emotionally wrung out from another week of dating app pointless swipes. Conversations that fizzled after 3. Messages men who never quite made it past the surface. I had started to believe love the kind that's real, kind that stays, just wasn't written into my story. Then I saw him, Daniel. He wasn't flashy, no big gestures or loud laughs to draw attention. He stood a little apart from the crowd, tall with dark hair and a calm, magnetic stillness. But it wasn't just how he looked. It was how he listened. When I spoke, he wasn't scanning the room. His eyes stayed on me, anchored, present. It had been so long since someone made me feel like my words mattered. We talked for hours that night. Effortless, honest, deep. No pretending, no performance. Something sparked inside me, faint but real. A flicker of hope, and for a while, it was everything I dreamed of. Daniel was patient, gentle. He remembered the smallest details. He tucked notes into my bag with tiny messages that made me smile for days. He brought my coffee exactly the way I liked it, without asking. He fixed the squeaky cabinet before I even noticed it squeaked. With Daniel, I felt safe in a way I didn't. No, I needed. There was no confusion, no emotional whiplash. Just warmth. Certainty. He proposed a year later, another year after that. We were standing beneath twinkling lights, saying vows in front of people we loved. And I meant every word. I truly did. But somewhere along the line, I started mistaking his steadiness for something else. His quiet devotion, once my anchor, started to feel. To still, I was restless. I started craving something unnameable. Fire, maybe? Wildness? That cinematic kind of love you see in films full of chaos and declarations and storms. Daniel didn't give me that. He gave me peace. But instead of holding on to it, I began to drift. It started as a whisper in my mind, a soft question. Had I settled? Had I traded passion for comfort? I pushed the thought away, but it returned, again and again, until one night, at a dinner party, it all came crashing down. It was a warm evening, soft music, a few close friends, the wine flowing. We were talking about love, soulmates, timing, how we know when we found the one. And then without thinking, I laughed. I laughed and said, honestly, if I had the chance to do it all over again, I probably wouldn't have married Daniel. The silence that followed was instant, jarring. Glasses paused midair. Conversations died. And when I turned to him, Daniel was frozen hand, gripping his wine glass, face unreadable. He didn't shout. He didn't flinch. He just said quietly, "Wow, that's good to know." The air in the room shifted. My stomach twisted. I tried to brush it off, tried to laugh again, to turn it into a joke said in poor taste. But it was too late. The words had already landed, sharp and unforgivable. That night he said nothing. He went to bed without a word. In the morning, he was gone. His side of the bed cold, his clothes packed, his toothbrush missing. But what broke me, what truly shattered me, was the wedding ring. He had placed it carefully on the nightstand next to a photo from our honeymoon, the one where we were laughing in the sunlight, soaked in the joy of beginnings. I called, he didn't answer, texted. Silence. I told myself he just needed space, time to cool off. But the days turned into weeks. A month passed. That's when I understood. He wasn't coming back, and what cut the deepest wasn't that he left. It was how easily he did. While I was drowning in guilt and aching for his voice, he had already started to heal. To move on. One afternoon, walking through downtown, I saw him. He was sitting at a small cafe table, sunlight dancing through his hair, laughing. Across from him sat a woman I didn't know, but somehow I already hated her. She was elegant, poised, confident in the kind of quiet way that doesn't demand attention. She just was. And Daniel. He looked at her like she was the only thing in the world that mattered. The way he used to look at me, a wave of emotion rose in me so fast it nearly knocked the breath from my lungs. I wanted to run to him, to my knees, and beg him to remember. Beg him to give us another chance. But I didn't, because I nearly knew that he was gone, and worse. I finally saw the truth. He didn't leave because he stopped loving me. He left because he realized I couldn't love him the way he deserved. Regret is a quiet thing. It doesn't always come with screaming or tears. Sometimes it just sits beside you in the car, walks silently behind you down grocery store aisles, curls up next to you in bed when the night is too quiet. I had something rare, beautiful, a love built on kindness, on effort, on the kind of loyalty people spend lifetimes searching for, and I let it slip away, chasing something louder, something shinier, a fantasy that never really existed. Now, I'm back where it all started. Sitting in a room full of relics from a life that once felt so full of promise. Photos, ribbons, old journals filled with dreams I never followed. I can barely breathe. Under the weight of what I gave up, people say you don't know what you have until it's gone. But that's not always true. Sometimes you do know. You just never think you'll actually lose it.